Hey guys, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, sitting here today. I want to do one final update on the Savings Highway Global. We may do some more updates. I don't know. This thing is really, it's just weird, is what it is. It's a strange one, but I wanted to dig into a story that Oz had done over at Behind MLM, where he was talking about the servers crashing and what really happened, because the story that he had put up, that he had received, and really it looks like rumors that are across the board. There's top leaders that had left the company, and they were putting out stuff. We saw stuff on the Better Business Bureau. I saw stuff on Trustpilot. It was really all over the place. So I finally was able to get to the bottom of what happened. At least I think this is pretty much what happened. And in reviewing everything, the original comment that came out was that somehow Plexum, which is the software provider, their servers had been shut down over at Bluehost. And literally, it went up. They blamed Bluehost, said Bluehost had been recently sold. There had been lots of people laid off, and they had violated their terms of service. That was the rumor that was created, and in that situation, it caused all the servers and all the data at Savings Highway Global to be deleted. We started digging into that. Bluehost hasn't been sold since 2020, and even then I don't know that I'd call it a sale. There was literally the companies kind of merged together, and the parent company now owns Bluehost, HostGator, Registry.com, Web.com. They own like 80 different brands. Yoast, if you guys are into using SEO, they own Yoast. So this is a big company. Even if they had laid off people, which was also what was said, it wouldn't have affected the company. Last major layoff in that company was actually also in 2020. They laid off a team in Utah. Their main operations now are based out of Jacksonville, Florida. So we were able to nixie that part of it. So when you take that out, then you've got to look at, well, if these servers were setting at Bluehost, but they were being paid for by Plexum, let's dig into that. Well, Plexum was listing an address in Chicago. In doing a search on that, it really looks like that address was a UPS store. They just had a P.O. box. They were getting bills there. That's where they're at. The gentleman that owns this company is named Moses. I can't pronounce his last name. He's a Nigerian, though, I can tell you that much. So he's based out of Nigeria. He was using a U.S. address and really looks like he was paying annually for the services that are there. And here's why I say this. When we start backing this out, I went over to the Internet Archives, the Wayback Machine, looked at that. The last time his site was up was September of 2023. So narrowing that down, looking at the terms of service at Bluehost, if he was paying annually for his service, then it looks like that service was interrupted on his site on about September of 2023. Now, the interesting thing here is when I go and search the social profiles, the last major updates in his social profile was a year earlier from that. So it was in December, basically, of 2022. Now, at one time he was listing 50 employees, $7 million in revenue all over the place, but yet his organizational chart just showed him as the person in charge. I also dug into what he called rapid MLM software. I think that's actually what he called his back office. And there's nothing anywhere on that as well. So we see the rumors, we wonder about the rumors, and I think in the due diligence that we have come up with, what we have found is that Plexum didn't pay their bills to Bluehost. And Bluehost terms of service says, depending on the type of service that you're on, we will give you 7 to 30 days in order to pay your bill, and then we're going to shut down things. So it looks like they shut him off. probably the tech team, this is a probability, and unless Bluehost will answer any emails that we send, we're not going to get this firm answer. But it does look like they probably saw activity on those servers. They saw the clients of Plexum on those servers. If they reached out to Plexum and Plexum was using an email address that had been on their servers, they wouldn't get the email. If they were not paying attention to emails on Gmail or Yahoo or anywhere else, then if they were already out of business, if this Moses guy in Nigeria had decided to shut down the business, he's not going to be responding to their emails anyway. There's nothing in their terms of service that says they have to reach out to, in this case, Savings Highway Global or anybody else. They would have reached out to the Bluehost client, which was Plexum. Plexum doesn't respond. They start shutting down the servers. And they're very clear in their terms of service. We will delete the data that's on the servers. They're going to delete those hard drives. They're going to purpose those hard drives for new clients. That's just the way data centers work. That's the way hosting companies work. So Bluehost didn't get bought out last year and this caused any problems. B, they didn't have massive layoffs. That didn't cause any problems. This really does lay with the hosting service that Savings Highway Global was using, and that is Plexum. Now, I want to stop for a minute. I'm going to bring this up to what I found out for today, but this is for any company owner, any rep. I want to focus in on something real quick. If you don't have backups, redundancy, if you don't know what's going on, if you're relying on a third-party person and there's nothing in your agreement with them that says they're making backups and sending it to you, putting it on Amazon's AWS or anything like that, then you're playing with fire. You could have the same situation that the founders of Savings Highway Global is literally dealing with right now, and that is no data. You don't have any backup. The closest backup, and I've found this out from talking to some reps, the best that Savings Highway Global has is that they were using one of the mainstream payroll solutions for network marketing. I'm not in the company. I can't tell you what one they were using, but whichever one they're using, they may be able to pull that data, put that tree back together from there. But nowadays, nobody keeps paper copies of this, so they're going to have to rely on the top leaders in the company who should be able to tell them what their genealogy looks like. But regrettably, it looks like most of them have left the company and gone elsewhere. So that one's going to be tricky. My point is, as a company owner, you need to make sure you're with a reliable, respectable strategic software partner, and there are plenty of them out there. We do business with several of them. You can give me a call if you want to. I'll be more than happy to refer you to some great companies in America, across the board, that can help you out. Now, let's go back to Savings Highway Global here for a second. What we have found out now is they have shifted. They are now paying for, and I reached out to their compliance representatives to say, hey, what's going on now? Now that you're trying to regroup this or redo this, what are you doing? They are now setting over at Anos, which used to be 1&1. I've actually been with that company, over 20 years. Back before they were even in the United States, we were having them host our websites over in Great Britain. And now they are one of the largest hosting companies in America. They've got data centers all over the place. So that's where they're at. All of their services offer redundancy. So they literally back up every day the database and the front end website. And these are two different things. And as a rep, you need to know this. The front end can go down. The goal is to always preserve the database on the back end. So, you need to make sure with your company, hey, is the database protected? Always take pictures of your back office. Make sure you understand. You can't show those publicly, but make sure you understand what your genealogy looks like as well. That way, if there is some type of a tragedy in the company, you're protected. You've taken care of this. You've been able to make sure that everything's taken care of. So, like I said, I don't know. There's a lot of drama right now going on. You see a lot of stuff out there. I don't know anything about that. My focus was, how can a company server in the 21st century, in 2023, go down and there's no data? And what we've been able to put together through just the forensic trail of this thing is that the service provider, which was Plexum, which was based in Chicago in what looks like a UPS P.O. box, was really run by a gentleman from Nigeria who knew software, but for whatever reason, either a year ago decided to get out of the business, or he somehow didn't pay his bill. But I've been hosting websites for over 20 years. Our clients have hosted websites for at least that long. This isn't something that you have a problem with when you focus on making sure you're in control as the company owner, as the executive team of the servers. If you're going to use what I would call maybe a lower end or a software provider, then you need to make sure you're in control of that. You need to make sure you understand and have that relationship directly with the hosting company. Know the information. You know, I think one of the terms we all hear now, KYC, know your customer. Well, guess what? You need to know your vendor. You need to know your strategic partner. So I hope this, not a lot of people care about this. Like I've said before, this is a small company. It just happened to be based in Georgia. I'm in Florida. It caught my attention when Oz put the story up. It's not getting, a lot of press, I guess you could say. It's not getting a lot of traffic because there's not a lot of people involved in it from a rep standpoint. It does look like they have a boatload of customers, but in looking again, you look at the Wayback Machine, what it looks like is that everybody that came into the company was an affiliate member, or member affiliate, however you want to look at it. You had to pay to play, basically, is what it was. So I believe they've got a lot of customers. I don't think they had a lot of people actually building the business. So that's it. Hey, let me close with this, though. I had a note here. Somebody shot us over. Somebody asked about 1099s, and I don't have answers to 1099s, but let me give you some information that might be beneficial for you. If you made less than $600 with Savings Highway Global, then you don't get a 1099 at all. There's no reason for them to send you. That's an IRS rule. It's at the company's discretion whether they send a 1099 if you're listed in the genealogy as a corporation, LLC entity. Okay, if you're an entity in there, they don't necessarily have to send a 1099. You send 1099s to individuals. That's kind of the way that works. Our clients, we tell them send 1099s to everybody. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but you got a record of it. Some companies just can't afford it or don't do it. So hope this has been beneficial for those of you that care. Stay tuned tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. No, stay tuned Monday. We're going to do an update on Fillmore, which is the old Transact. We've got some information on them. So I'm going to pop some stuff out there. Live life like it's an epic adventure. Stay dangerous, stay strong, and if you're a home-based entrepreneur, act like it.